going to have some fun. This has all the markings of a very enjoyable game. Lots of big team fight spells, lots of outplay potential from some of these heroes. Let's enjoy ourselves here for game one.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on ZZQ as well, even though it's like, just a casual position 5, 3 protector. He needs to give a lot of info through the fights. He needs to use his ulti very properly against both the Darkseer and Pango. I feel like you need to be stopping both of them. But yeah, let's see. It's an old school counter to the Pangolier that hasn't been picked for the longest time. And it's like they want to push a lot, right? Like on the side of Tearlaments. But if you are pushing while AA is 6 and Pango is around, you better make sure you're not stacking up.
Yeah. Well, do you see some smokes from both teams? This is mostly going to be an information gathering exercise. Erica, though, very lucky that he wandered forward at the moment he did, because just before Kaka was in position on the high ground. If that had happened 2 seconds later, we'd probably be looking at a dead TA, but lucky enough for Erica, everything should be fine.
Yeah, no one is showing on the map, right? So better be careful where you roam. We don't really see too many First Bloods, but...
Look, it's this nonsense. Okay, they're not going to do it, okay. DY and Kaka, I thought they were going to try and just completely gimp the wave, but
it's happening on top. It's happening on top lane as well. The only difference is they killed the range creep already. So, yeah. There's...
by the way, look at Ori. Ori's laning top. They're putting the Morphling mid for Paparazzi.
Yeah, they're swapping the lanes. I was gonna say the same. This mid lane is kind of funky, right? Like, I still think Kuka does well. Gotta be a bit careful with the Morphling not to get blasted down by a Tidebringer. And then that would feel really bad, right? Like you are dodging a very annoying lane, morph into Enigma. But you must make sure not to and then feed on mid lane. However, Morphling is very often picked on mid. It's a strong mid lane hero as well.
Also, with the recent changes to the Morphling, you even more benefit from having additional experience on this hero right now. So there are definitely some benefits to having him here. He should also be able to find his own CS. Like, can't stop Kunkka from CSing, but Kunkka can't really stop the Morphling from CSing either.
Yeah, Kunkka deals a lot of damage to the Morph though. The cleave ignores armor, so it's it is annoying to get hit. Gotta be careful when you morph all the way down. This is one of those observer nightmare lanes. You know, you see Morphling low, you have to go and check. Maybe there's a Tidebringer coming.
We'll keep tabs on what's happening in this lane
Top lane,
as this game extends. Top lane, do have some damage going into this Ancient Apparition. 7E goes into the Shadow Realm, but can't find the pathing through the trees. Could have been a first blood, but overall he's probably just happy to make sure that SRF has as good a time as possible. With the swap, can they do anything with this Pangolier to stop the Enigma from farming?
I'm not sure. There's a lot of physical damage, which is nice from Mori. So he should be able to, I guess, kill off the Eidolons. If he dishes out full combo on level 3, we'll see. I actually want to see how it pans out. You don't really see this matchup very often. By the way, DY, he lived barely by luck. And basically by luck. The Brambles, none of them connected. What
do you mean that's luck? It's skill, brother. He just has better pathing than you.
Yeah, he was like stuck between 3 trees and 0 brambles somehow connected. I'm sure I'd run into like all of them trying to get away. But yeah, skill, of course.
Sounds like a skill issue, fam. Ori right now gonna take some damage. He does get himself caught inside the brambles. No real kill threat, they're just trying to massage him a little bit, force him to have to utilize whatever regen he has left. Yet there's only one tangle that's sitting in the backpack right now.
Yeah, like you said, massage is a nice expression, nice way of putting it. That's something that you have to do in the lane, right? Like you have to keep on trading, getting those resources down low so that when the opportunity arises, you can actually get the pick off or a kill.
How are things looking bottom lane? We haven't really taken a gander at that lane. Erica just farming away on the TA up against this Darkseer.
Actually, really good lane for Yang so far. Yang and Kaka have crushed this lane. Like they're ahead of the TA. This is really good. They're already level 3, and this even gives them some kill potential.
They might decide to dive on this wave right now, but they will opt against it. They'll just keep pulling it forward and just farm in between the towers.
I feel like diving could be the only thing that wins this lane for Tearlaments. Like, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did it on Vici Gaming, because that's just the way these two are, right? Mid lane?
Mid lane, they're going on to Paparazzi right now. He did get dragged back into the X mark. Unfortunately, though, 7E was not able to connect with the Brambles. The Shadow Realm hit, it does connect, but it's not enough damage. Kaka now comes in immediately looking for revenge, and he gets it. The Avatars finds the first blood for Vici Gaming. Kaka, beautiful teleportation.
Yeah, and the Iron Shell as well on him. I feel like this is exactly what he should be doing as well. Like, just give him the Iron Shell and he TPs somewhere and goes defense mid or top, whatever. Because bot lane right now has already been more or less won, and I think that Darkseer can maybe start creep skipping on his own. Like, you're not... Like, the way I see it is, you cannot dive the TA plus 3 end. Like, it's just way too defensive of a lane.
They're gonna try and put some pressure onto Yang right now, but now Kaka coming in, just gonna threaten, not even gonna bother utilizing his spells, but just letting them know, hey guys, I'm here. If you really want this kill, you're gonna have to overcommit, and I'll probably punish you.
Meanwhile, on top,
yeah, they've been trying to go back onto Ori once more. He gets through the Brambles, but man, he's in a very rough place. Does have some one charges, but it's only 7 of them, and he has absolutely no mana to work with. Okay, he'll have to pop it soon. He doesn't want to take the risk of getting Manifest and killed off before he uses it.
yeah, keep in mind though, he is able to solo all the Eidolons. So that's kind of nice, right? Like, that's something that I've been thinking about earlier. Echoes.
Here comes ZZQ. Top lane, they're going on to DY. This time around, there's absolutely no way out. He ends up dead, and Echoes able to get the connection onto Ori as well. Ori held in position. He is almost certainly going to die here. 7E able to bring him down at the Shadow Realm. Beautiful rotation. There's all of a sudden 4 heroes top for Tearlaments, and they're going to secure the tower with the catapult wave.
You know what, for Vici Gaming, it's a little bit worrying that this tier 1 tower will fall so early, even though they switched up the lanes to make that top lane a little bit easier for themselves. Pango as well, a natural born playmaker, is only level 4, so he will not be able to make all those crazy moves that the Pangolier usually does.
Not only is he level 4, he's also the lowest core in the net worth department. He has about as much net worth as this Dark Willow, which is concerning. That can obviously change as he gets more levels, but like you said, being only level 4, he is going to need some time. His team is going to have to buy him some space so he can actually start to participate in the game.
Yeah, they need to find levels on the supports as well. Like on Tiny, of course, but on AA, it's very important that he gets to level 6 quickly. Because I can see in a couple of minutes Enigma with the pipe drums just running your towers down, and not a lot that you can do about that.
Yang doing his best to try and run away from Echoes, but unfortunately he cannot. He will get connected onto. There's the X marks the spot. The boat crashes through. Do they have enough to kill him before the next surge comes back online? Yes, they do. ZZQ going to be the one that gets the credit for the kill, but now Paparazzi, he shows up as well, but unfortunately he's seen that both of his supports are already dead. And top lane, Ori, the man in search of experience, has been killed off once again. Now Erica has made himself present in the fray, going after DY. His ancient apparition cannot run away. Nature's grasp holding her in place, and TA finishing her off. So that's going to be across the map, 4 heroes dead. Vici Gaming's massively on the back foot.
Man, they have a lot of damage, sure, on Vici Gaming, but they need to get levels first to get to that damage, and it's not looking great right now. The stacks might be stolen as well. Kaka?
Kaka trying to defend these stacks with all his might. They're going to toss back onto to Erica as well. They really want this TA. She's gonna try and hide right now in the meld. Terrorize flies forth, gets dodged by Paparazzi. He's still keeping the pursuit onto the TA, but he doesn't have enough damage. He's gonna be forced to run himself away, but 7E is there with ZZQ, securing a double kill for the Tria Protector. And with that Bedlam still going, they also bring down DY. 3 heroes will fall. You can try to defend the stacks if you want to, but we will take them come hell or high water.
Yeah, they just don't have a mid laner. That's the problem. You have this Morphling, sure, but it's literally like a position of one Morphling trying to join fights. Sure, he's not the worst hero to join fights, but you needed your Pango and he was not level 6 yet. The kill that they just made previously was massive. Like, just denying him that experience. And the TP, by the way, because he died, he needed to TP back to the lane, so he couldn't join the mid lane fight.
I'm just imagining how crazy it would have been if there was a Rolling Thunder there. We're looking at like 2-3 kills at the very least for them, but Ori has been denied entry into this game. At least does have level 6, trying to make some decent inroads towards his diffusal, but he's still 2,000 gold away from picking that up.
Yeah, he's very far away. Yeah, like the lanes have went so well for Tearlaments. The way that they played top and the rotations from Kunkka were right on point. And we talked about damage. Well, Kunkka will bring some once he gets the Radiance right. Like it is always a very nice item on him. And he doesn't need a lot, like Radiance BKB. I feel like that's it. He's ready to fight.
It's going to be a very fast Radiance the way things are going right now. He's top of the net worth, and he's going to smoke up with this Dark Willow. 70. Let's see if they can find somebody. They drawing the beat down towards bottom. Man, killing Yang, who initially was having a really good time, but slowing him down even more could be massive. And they have the perfect run.
He's got the Vanguard. Yeah. There's 4 heroes around, right? But he's got Vanguard and he's in a very good position, I think. Vacuum on a cliff, maybe even possible.
No, they're gonna go on him. There's the back wall. No back wall.
No back
Sorry.
wall.
They drag him back. Like, I thought maybe, you know, potentially Ori does have TP. Maybe you back wall, then you try to start the fight, but too much damage from the Bedlam.
There's, you know what? If DY had 6, sure, but he's still not level 6. 11 minutes in on AA. It's not like the worst timing, don't get me wrong, but in a game in which your side is completely falling apart, you needed it quicker.
Well, Tearlaments also just driving the knife even deeper, making it impossible to come back because they yet again steal the stacks.
Oh, look at the illusion bait.
Don't even bother stacking, guys.
Yeah, they want to illusion bait with this smoke because they did hit that 6 now. They have the Ice Blast. Kaka is ready as well. They just need to find the right target.
The target might come in the form of a Kunkka as he shows middle, and woo! Here it comes. Question is, do they have the damage? ZZQ is also here, throwing the overgrowth, and finally, Ori with the Rolling Thunder, able to assassinate and kill off the Kunkka. Does cost the life of Kaka, and the question is, can Ori even escape this? Blood Grenade drop down, the first black hole of the game. SRF does not want to let that kill go. Becomes a 2-for-1 affair, so yes, they make the dive successfully, but it comes at a massive, massive cost.
Yeah, he really did not want to use the black hole. You could see him popping the drums and everything before, trying to run. The black hole was used, and that's kind of a silver lining for Vici Gaming, but in general, like you said, 2-for-1, not the best trade.
They also lost out on any potential tower pressure they could have applied. So that immediately goes back in the opposite direction. The crazy thing about that is how close the Kunkka came to still living at the end of it. He barely died. They had to commit everything from the side of Vici to kill him.
Yeah, and he's not really the tankiest Kunkka, by the way. He's tanky, double bracer phases and chipped west, but it's not like some, you know, early BKB or pipe 70. Nice kill.
Bro, I just want you to think about this, right? AA got 400 gold for a 13-minute kill on a support. What the hell is happening?
Yeah, 420 almost.
Hey.
But yeah,
Vici Gaming.
They're 6k behind. They're like 13 minutes in. You don't really see that very often.
Yeah. But there are some bright spots. Ori is about to finish the Diffusal Blade, so he has something going towards his name. Yang as well, just farming away, not that far away from having the mech, so he should have it quite soon as well. The only thing that's really lacking at the moment is this Blink Dagger from Kaka, but he's halfway there. He's getting there.
Yeah, these items are great. I just... It all comes down really to the way they take fights, who they try to pick off. Every time this A has Ice Blast, I feel like they can be searching for a kill. On the other side, of course, I just wanted to double check if Enigma is buying the pipe, and the pipe is actually completed. It's flying out on the courier.
Wow.
I feel like that's the most impactful item in the game right now. Like, playing into Vici Gaming, there's so much magic damage. Sure, there's a lot of physical too, but the pipe will be massive.
Pipe of Insights. Whew. They're already having issues killing off these heroes. It's about to become even worse going forward. We'll see if they decide to do anything, but they are still 20 seconds away from having access to Black Hole, so they probably don't want to make any big plays on the map until that's available. They're probably just going to start setting up shop to make sure that they have access to the Tormi once it's available.
Yeah, 5 more minutes for the Tormi to chill and wait, but having that vision over the Ancients as well is always nice, right? Like, it gives you so much info. You can see if someone is trying to be cheeky to farm in that area. By the way,
So-
Kunkka Radiance as well.
Yep. I just went to check because I was curious. It turns out that this is the fastest Enigma pipe on this patch. Well done to SRF.
He had a really good lane. Like, he lost a couple of Eidolons to Pango, sure, but overall the lane was good. And I seriously feel like this is... Enigma isn't an underrated offlane by any means. The hero is picked very often, but so many games I see it just completely be ignored.
Mid lane, we have Kaka very close to having Blink. One or two more creeps will put him over the edge and he can pick up the item. Unfortunately, there's also a Blink on the TA. I mean, Blink on TA, Radiant on Kunkka. I think you want to try and make something happen here. They do actually have a small fight starting. Ori able to roll away. At the same time, a bit to the north, we do have 7E almost dying to this Ancient Apparition. He's still alive for the time being. SRF will be the one that eats the Rolling Thunder now. Surrounded by multiple heroes. They don't want to come too close for fear of that black hole. But now in comes Erica. He blinks past the vacuum wall. Yang forced to surge himself out of trouble, even popping the mechanism to ensure survival.
Yeah, I think this is a slight win for Vici. Like, they get a kill on Dark Willow. How much gold this time around? This time around 330, but for morphing, of course. It's kind of a small win because they managed to kite out Enigma, don't get Black Hole, they get the pick off. But without the A ulti, without Rolling Thunder, that's probably some objectives going down, right?
Yeah. Tier 1 tower gets taken away. They're actually looking, Echoes are trying to find somebody with the X mark so that Erica could blow them up. Doesn't end up happening, so they will just retreat, and the line is drawn towards the Roshan pit. We want to try and take the big man down.
Yeah, the tier 1 tower, Dezo, like you mentioned earlier, on TA, they have more than enough sustain, more than enough damage with all the Eidolons. You can perhaps send the Ice Blast in, but no one else is in position to fight that.
They do scan that out just to make sure that it is indeed happening.
They're actually smoking for it.
Okay. It would look like they wanted to trade for the tier 1 bottom, and Echo is actually TP's in as well. The boat comes through, crashes onto Morphling. Do they have enough to hold him in position? Not just yet.
Rush pit.
As Yang also right behind pops the Crimson Guard. In the Roshan pit, we do have a Rolling Thunder. Ori was hoping to try and get somebody, but at least they did kill the Roshan itself. Erica's going to be the one with the snatch on the Aegis. Down bottom, the fight's still continuing. Yang, he still runs away. Him and Paparazzi will not fall to the pressure of ZZQ and Echo. At the same time, Ori not going to be able to escape easily here. They commit the black hole yet again. SRF has it out for the Pango, making sure that he does go down in revenge for taking away the kill on Roshan.
Yeah, his His TP was cancelled on Enigma, but he gets his revenge in the end, right? Like, he gets a kill regardless. He doesn't get what he wanted to. That's the Morphling on bot lane, who's already got Manta, by the way, with Dragonlance, and did manage to take down the tier 1 tower down bottom. That rush fight was a little bit unfortunate for Vici because they didn't connect at the same time. Tiny went in and then Pango later on.
Tiny is gonna die here. There is an Ice Blast though that connects onto the TA and the Kunkka. Unfortunately, though, Ori is not in position, nor does he have Rolling Thunder, so there's no way you pursue that fight.
Yeah, these kind of Ice Blasts actually feel bad, because you cast them, and then you don't have an opportunity to use it when it's actually impactful, right? Like, I feel like Vici Gaming cannot afford to take any scrappy fights. They need to be very methodical and know exactly who they're going on, and they need to use everything on a target. Because there's just too much sustain on the other side right now. Smoke.
SRF and the boys are still smoked up. Oh, they come across the Morphling. Oh no, Paparazzi. Can they get out of here? There's a boat, scratches down. They're doing everything in their power. He does manage to Manta and try to get away. Yule Scepter, though, holds him in position. They really want this kill. However, Ori coming in on the backline, creating chaos, trying to create space for Morphling to escape. He steals the TA form, hiding in the Melt Strike for a little bit. Ori, as soon as the Rolling Thunder ends, though, he gets thrown in the air by the Torrent. Can he escape this? No. Followed by the right clicks, and he does end up going down. On the other side of the fight, though, they manage to assassinate ZZQ. So 1 for 1, but yet again, Pango going down for Ori.
That's a dominating streak on ZZQ. So the position 5 Treant actually gave more gold. He gave 415, Ori gave 315. So they actually got more out of that fight. Ice Blast will be committed on the Tormi, but the pipe is, yeah, it's such a wonderful item this game. You negate most of the damage.
Well, they get the Tormi. The shard goes the way of this Dark Willow. I mean, that's pretty decent. It's okay. I'm sure that they really wanted the shard for the Treant though, but they'll take it.
Yeah, it's a good. It's not a bad shard for sure. In any case, the Treant shard as well. Of course, that's the one that's like one of those supports that just insta queues it, right? Like you can even get it as your first item after Arcane Boots sometimes, depending on how you want to be playing the game.
Such a good shot. He has queued it up right now. ZZQ. Level 10 as well. Top lane, there is pressuring the tier 2 tower a little bit. However, Erica is relatively isolated here, so they could try and jump him. But he leaves just in time. They were literally setting up to try and pounce on him. Doesn't happen. So, Vici Gaming will find that their time is a little bit wasted. They even get scanned on the approach, so there's no way they're getting any kills here.
Yeah, very nicely read. Very, very nicely read. This smoke will, like you said, most likely not connect on to anyone. Down bottom, even Echoes is like he's pushing in the waves, but he's even right now with the BKB X marking himself before he goes and does that.
Yeah. Well, looks like the team wants to group up here. They're gonna smoke. There's a haste rune in the river. 70 will pick it up. Let's see if they can find anybody. They had an observer or top that didn't really scout anybody either. DY, nice last second TP out. He is completely safe. Kaka and them will go through the twin gate. So this time around, it's Vici Gaming's time to waste the opponent's time with the smoke. So it's a 7k gold lead. Things have not been looking amazing for Vici. However, you know, they're not bleeding as much as they were earlier, right? You're still losing kills here and there. Yes, you just lost a tier 2 tower, but you're not being routed just yet. This Aegis is going to expire now. So Vici Gaming could conceivably take the upcoming fight, especially now that they've also got the level 2 Rolling Thunder on Ori.
No, absolutely. They stabilized the game. 8k at this point, 23 minutes in. It's still a pretty big lead, but it's nowhere as big as 13 minutes 7k lead, you know. So overall, they're doing fine. They're finding space for Paparazzi, who is buying Butterfly, by the way, but TA is already on her way to MKB. Like, she's got 2 items, just the javelin and the recipe needed, like 1500-ish gold, and she's got it.
Gonna be very scary. It's always very annoying when you're playing like these butterfly carries. By the time you get the butterfly, there's already the MKB, and you're like, oh, I wish I bought something else. But you also really do need butterfly in this game.
And that's usually the case when you're playing in a losing game, right? Like when you're behind, usually your butterfly is at the same time that somebody's or the enemy carries MKB is. He could have went Skadi, I feel like, this game as well. I think that would have been a decent option for him.
Yes, Skadi would be solid. There's a lot of there's some healing coming through from the Stream Protector as well. I would have liked Skadi a lot.
A lot of healing, nice against ranged carries, nice against TA in general, gives you some armor. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it, but okay, he opted to go for butterfly. That's also a very casual pickup on Morphling, gives you some more burst potential as well.
Now it's a 10k lead for Tearlaments. We of course saw them yesterday in a situation where they were massively ahead, and they were the ones that sort of threw the game away. So we certainly need to see them playing as disciplined as possible. They're gonna group up now for another smoke. Enigma's gonna be the one on the forefront of this. They're gonna connect onto him with the smoke. Unfortunately, everybody has already vacated the area. Vici Gaming, these last like 90 seconds, 2 minutes, have been reading Tearlaments very, very well.
There's just like it's not really that common right now, but the wards have been amazing this game. Like, they're giving so much info for both sides that it's difficult to connect with these smokes.
Ori, he got scanned. They know that somebody's in the vicinity. He's also gonna get scouted on the wave. Oh no, he swashed forward. He swashed forward, Liz. Oh no, he's dead. Sorry, brother. Nothing you can do. This time, even the ensnared curse cannot save you.
Yeah, he bought out, at least. He's moving a bit, inching a bit closer to his Aghanims. I feel like, once again, I would really like to see a Basher on the Pango at some point. You don't really have a greatest way of dealing with the black hole, so...
We're gonna try now through middle. What's the next objective here? There's no Roshan to take just yet. Looks like he's gonna be gone for the maximum duration. Game is hot. Let's take some of these triangle farm right now. Perhaps sweep over to the tier 1 tower. Get some additional objectives on the map. And crucially, just avoid fights. I don't think you want to take any action right now until you have BKB on Morphling.
Absolutely. You want to be just skipping and ratting for as long as possible.
Tier 2 tower now also getting taken, so all the outer towers are gone. So Vici are now at that annoying point of the game where you're not just concerned about losing fights, you're concerned about just having your buildings poked at by the TA and the Eidolons.
Can they that high ground? Like, they just use the glyph, right? Yeah, they just left the tier 2 tower on Dire, so...
Check out that TA trap, just to make sure that he can scout out where Kaka goes. That's very nicely done by the TA. Good job, Erica.
When you're playing versus TA, I feel like you need an early gem. It's just one of those heroes that forces you into it. And speaking of all those dodged smokes, I'm sure TA traps also played a part.
Oh, for sure. We have another smoke right now that might not connect. The Enigma is the one that's closest to them, but he's just going in darkness. He's chilling, man. No, I guess you just can't die in this game when the enemy team is smoking. That's just the way it is right now.
We gotta count all these wasted smokes. Mid lane.
Nope. Unfortunately, Echo used the X mark on himself, so he could get in a little bit more safely, so he could not utilize it onto Kaka.
Now this is basically just setting up for Rush, right? Like, what they're doing right now is playing around the pit, trying to get to... Again, good words, good vision, deward the enemy team so that you can go into the pit freely. Kuka is very close to the Shivas as well. This man is absolutely gigantic.
He's so farmed. My god.
Yeah,
level 18, 2.8k HP, man.
Yeah. Snare, are they doing the good old tier 2 for Roche trade?
Yeah, baby. It's happening. No, it's not happening. They're going to leave Paparazzi, but the rest of the team is smoking. They want to try and come and contest this. They have Ice Blast, they have Rolling Thunder, they have the Vacuum Wall. Do they have the guts, though, to go for the fight?
Well, they won't have Morphling if they do. But they have to commit immediately if they want to. Rush is falling. Like they can't, right? TAs. Oh, A-Blast.
Coming. Ice Blast is actually going to go forward. They do not get the kill onto Roshan, though. Erica still gets the Aegis. Echo right in front of Kaka. Pops his BKB, and him and Erica able to demolish the Rockman. TP out by DUI. Not going to be allowed because Erica coming through with the Melt Strike. And now Kikyo had his own way out of the fight, being severely compromised by the Yule Scepter. But SRF can't get off the black hole in time. He ends up throwing it out, but only to watch the Morphling TP to safety.
Yeah, they used Overgrowth as well. They used Black Hole and Overgrowth, and they didn't stop him. Yeah, kind of not the best execution by Radiant, by Tearlaments, but they do get Roche, they get Aegis. Honestly, not having these two big spells might give Vici Gaming an opportunity. A very, how to put it, like we have some amazing stars on Vici Gaming. We have some great players on the other side as well, but the execution wasn't that great, let's put it that way, in that last fight. Even the Rolling Thunder, he was just bouncing off of the cliffs very far away from the enemy team. He couldn't get through the stairs.
Let's see, take a look here. So,
Vacuum
Terrorize was used, right? Yang, this Vacuum Wall actually high-key saved his life.
Yep.
It brought him that additional little moment of time needed to get out of there.
I feel like ZZQ could have just used ult though, no?
Well, back live, we do have Yang yet again throwing out a nice vacuum there. They bring down DY. So we're not going to have an Ancient Apparition for this engagement. X-Mark, they really want to try and find Paparazzi here. Do they have him? He pops his BKB. Can he keep this fight going though? No. He realizes he needs to get out. He pulls the Nightfall. That will allow him to retreat to safety. Ori though, not so lucky. Held in place with the Yule Scepter. Stopped by the Bramble Maze and killed off by Erica once again.
Yeah, that was an amazing ult, by the way. 70 knows Pango. Of course, he's been playing so much mid, knows exactly when to use it. He used it just before Rolling Thunder runs out, so he catches it with that last hand of Yules to set up the Brambles. And also, by the way, Paparazzi was morphing into Agi in that fight. That's why he was falling so low. So, almost died because of it.
Yeah. You definitely don't feel good being Paparazzi, and your first two BKB usages have just been used to escape the fight. Like, not a single hero has died while he has BKB active. That's quite concerning.
I think at this point, Kaka...
Yule Scepter again. Now they also have X-Marks. And sorry, bro. You tried your best. You tried your best. But your best was not going to be good enough here.
Yeah, this time around it was his own Yules trying to save himself, but didn't really work. I think now is the time for Radiant to choke out the map and perhaps start taking high ground. Morphling.
Another Yules on Morphling. He's still 5 seconds away from having BKB, but his illusions were ripping through 7E a little bit. Torrent doesn't connect, but he does get the X-Mark. And Kikyo, he's gonna do the Nightfall.
Once again.
What else can he do? Yeah.
3 out of 3. Every single BKB on this poor Morphling has been used defensively.
That's tough.
They need... I can see a world in which Morphling gets like one more item and then the damage is too insane even for all of these defensive heroes on the other side. When you combo it with AA, of course. I can imagine that, but for that to happen, they have to stop the upcoming pushes.
You often refer to AA as the great equalizer. Is the game too far gone Or are we still in that point where one bad fight can still, well, we'll talk about it in a second. Big vacuum wall from Yang, but they've already lost DY. Black Hole will come out right now, connecting on the two. They've already lost them both as well. Erica, as his BKB starts to expire, decides to leave the high ground, as Ori is able to assassinate 70 on the backlines. Paparazzi with the waveform forward, able to find ZZQ as well. So they have to buy back on 3 heroes in order to mount this defense. But mount it they do, and they're pursuing for more. Sadly, they will not find it.
That avalanche, if it was a second earlier, maybe it catches one, maybe even two. But yeah, it didn't. A lot of buybacks, like you said, had to be committed. They weren't able to defend cleanly, but they do defend. They do hold, and Morphling was not the one of the heroes, I should say, that utilized the buyback. So maybe for the next fight, he will have that one extra item that we talked about. And Skadi is on the menu for Kikyo. Basher, by the way, as well on Pango, which is a change. He was queuing up Disperser, but changed his mind and goes for Basher instead. I think this was absolutely necessary.
What do you think actually about Ori? Would the game have been different if he'd started mid? And probably wouldn't have the greatest matchup, sure, but would he have been able to accomplish more on the map, open up the team play more?
Absolutely. 100%, I have to say. The state of the game is... I think it stems from the fact that they switched up the lanes. Because Pango did kind of better than you would expect Morphling or Seaflame against Enigma. But he didn't do well enough to justify the fact that he's not going to have a lot of experience, right? He was level 4, he couldn't use Rolling Thunder, he couldn't contribute to any of the early fights.
No. He's saved his contribution for this stage of the game. Needs to be careful though, because if he dies again, it will be a dieback. Oh no, actually it was Yang that brought back. He'll be fine. They smoke up now though, because Paparazzi just picked up the Skadi. This is a huge power spike for them all. Skadi, Butterfly, BKB, D-Lance, and the Brawny Gale Guard. Does not get any better than this for now. Let's see if they can do anything with it though.
Yeah, they smoke up, there's no Aegis.
TA, she gets caught! Can they actually kill her though? They're ripping through her HP pool. The Ice Blast will not connect, but they don't even need it. Paparazzi supplies the right-click damage. Yang now also able to catch on onto 7E, but once more 7E with a wonderful Yule Scepter, able to save his life. The chase coming in from Kaka though. He finds the Avalanche. The Shadow Realm will not protect you, and as soon as he comes out of it, 7E will be in the waiting hands of Paparazzi, who finds a double kill on his Morphling. What a time to be alive. What a time to go for that wave for Erica. He was so far from everybody.
Yeah, that was so damn greedy. What a time for Vici Gaming to finish off Skadi and smoke up, right? Like, sometimes stars, they do align. And you find the right item at the right time when the enemy player is making a mistake.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Also, in a nice turn of events, you actually connect with the smoke in this game. You never get to see it.
Keep in mind that if TA is isolated, that's one of the squishiest heroes in the game, right? Like, if you can chew through her refraction charges fast enough, she most likely dies 9 out of 10 times. And that was very isolated from Erica.
You know, if you just took a screenshot of like the map right now, right, and where all these heroes are, you would never say that Vici Gaming are the team that's 11k behind, but this power spike for the Morphling has sort of equalized the game regardless of the gold lead.
Yeah, for now, TA is still unalived in the fountain, so they need to wait for her. Once she's up, I feel like you could even smoke, try to contest Rush once again, secure that area. You have Black Hole. Echoes is ready with a Nullifier to take this upcoming fight. Yeah, they smoke up.
Look at this though. Paparazzi just picked up a Giant Small. I don't think they know about this. That is, he doesn't have Daedalus or anything like that, so the additional crit is a pretty substantial increase in his damage output. Let's see now if Tearlaments can get anything off the back of this smoke. Roshan, unfortunately today it looks like he's sleeping in. Second time around that he's almost max respawn. You'll love to see it.
Exactly when Vici Gaming needed it as well, right? Like the first time they also needed a quick respawn. They didn't get it.
Gaben is like, if you're going to win this game, you're not going to do it with any help from me. I'm going to do it the hard way.
Mid lane smoke is done on Radiant. It didn't break, they just lost it. They managed to plant one single ward and sentry combo next to the top rune, which is some nice vision, but I love this dire ward, by the way, next to Rosh Pit on a cliff. Like, this is maybe my top 3 favorite wards on the current map. Really difficult to de-ward as well. It shows Rosh. It doesn't show a lot, but it shows Rosh. That's all you need.
Yep. It's always the adage that they teach you when you're learning to play Dota, or at least learning to get better. You just play around vision. And that's what Vici Gaming are doing right now. They are not going to wander anywhere on the map outside of the radius of these wards.
Yep. There is some luck involved, I have to say now, for Vici Gaming as well. When it comes to the black holes, right? If Ori is careful enough with his Ags plus Basher, maybe he's the one, you know? Maybe he's the one that's able to completely change the way the fights are gonna go.
Question: does the Pango Bash hit you through outward stuff?
I don't think so, no. I don't think anything hits you through the staff. The staff basically means you're out of the map. You do not exist for that millisecond. Well, I shouldn't say millisecond, I should say exactly 0.7 seconds.
The reason I ask is because Enigma does have one, so if he plays well enough as well, can make sure that he secures a pretty solid channel. They actually might be able to find Ori here. Unfortunately, though, that D-ward happened at the wrong moment.
You can't use it while channeling. It's going to interrupt your black hole. The staff, I think. I mean, I'm pretty sure. But you can save yourself and then use it. I think that's what you meant, right? Like.
Yeah. Right now, Paparazzi finishing a wave. They kill off his courier that was carrying the Eagle Song for his Swift Blink. There's a role being commissioned by Ori. He's gonna decide against it though.
We just saw Darkseer's items, by the way, and I really like this Dezun, I don't know how do you pronounce the blood right on him. It's really cool. Can they manage to get to Rosh Pit fast enough though? Let's see. I think they can.
Big man is online. He's dying very quickly because Erica does have an amplified damage rune. But the AD rune expires just before the fight breaks out. Enigma, he gets seen first. This is huge. If they can find and take him away before this begins, and they will do so indeed.
Kaka?
Inside the Roshan pit is Kaka, trying to at least steal away the Rosh, but he dies very quickly. Can't even save himself with the Yules thanks to the nullifier from Echo. Nice little terrorize coming through, connecting onto Paparazzi. Enigma brought back, black hole onto 2. Paparazzi is gone. Yang follows him in the grave. Neither of them have buyback. Ori, realizing he can't do much more for his team here, decides to TP out, but DY do not have that luxury. He dies as well to Erica. SRF, the buyback. What a play from this Enigma.
That was just beautiful. Buyback into the outposts. A perfect showcase why outposts are so necessary to be taken, especially when you're going for Rosh. The buyback TP. This could be game. 60 seconds without morph.
Yeah.
Even when he respawns, you're playing into an Aegis. Sure, if you kill off Enigma, maybe that's your opening, right? He doesn't have a buyback, but mid lane, Ori.
Ori trying to just get himself away. Tidal wave pushes him forward into the brambles. Erica is here as well. He does have buyback. He was hoping to buy some time. Unfortunately, they don't need the whole team to kill him. While he's dying, Enigma's pushing bottom. Now they leverage the Roshan's banner and the new Dateless on Erica to push mid. It's looking dicey for Vici. It might just be game, like you said.
Yeah, it's looking really dicey. Enigma did use Black Hole, but he also got the shards from Roshan, so he can have an additional Black Hole in this upcoming fight.
One more roll of the dice for Vici Gaming. Morphling is back. Yang doesn't have buy. Oh no, Kaka got caught. Kaka cannot afford to die right now, but he will die regardless. Trying his best to buy space and time here. Avalanche toss will be there, but his life is gone. He buys back, so does Ori. Ori coming forward though with the roll. They wanted to connect onto Erica. He managed to get down to the low ground with the Hurricane Pike. He nearly died, Liz, but he's gonna survive by the skin of his teeth. ZZQ will go down, but at the end of the day, yes, Paparazzi gets a triple kill. It is still buybacks having to be used by Vici Gaming and 2 lanes of racks gone nonetheless.
Yeah, you gotta run it down somehow. I feel like you have to run it down. There's no Enigma for 70. There's no way. I don't think you have enough time even to equalize one side. Maybe if they had a wave pushing in on top, you know, like they would be able to do something, but they don't. The state of the map is just in too good of a position for Tearlaments. So Enigma will be up for the next fight. Most likely. 50 seconds, let's see. They're trying to go down mid.
Let's see how far they can get here. 40 seconds before we have Enigma. Tier 3 towers, all that stands in the way here. They still do have quite a lot of defense, right? They still have Glyph. We still have buybacks on our supports, but they're going to be up very soon anyway. And you still have this Kunkka, very annoying hero to try and push into.
Yeah, nice
but here they come.
Nice little blink from Kikyo over the tidal wave. Gets onto the high ground.
I feel like they should add like a surfing animation. Oh, Kaka goes in. You want to try and find Erica. But yet again, Kaka might find himself in trouble. Ori, though, goes into the fray with this rolling thunder. They're not able to connect cleanly onto Erica just yet. And yes, he's inside the vacuum wall, but they need more damage. Paparazzi, though, can't really supply it because the Enigma has respawned and they're scared of what could happen. And 7E did find yet again the terrorized black hole combination. It finds the Morphling for the 2nd time in a row. He is gonna die for sure. They've already lost Pango, they've already lost Tiny, and now as they lose this Morphling, they might just have lost the game. He buys back though, hoping to try and help out DY, but DY dies just way too quickly. This game is looking like it's about to go to hell in a hurry because Vici Gaming have nothing left in the tank.
Yeah, they just tried. You could understand why they were forcing it, because that was literally their only play. They're in a checkmate position. They have one option, and that's to push fast enough before Enigma respawns. They understood that there's a shard on Enigma. You're not winning against 2 black holes in these fights. Even one was enough most of the time. Yeah, they got punished for it. Morphling is huge, and there's a buyback on A. Can the 3 of them hold this? I'm not sure. Tiny is up soon, though.
Okay. Morphling will steal the TA form, so he has access to the Blink Melt Strike as well. Erica has taken away the final tier 3 tower. They are looking towards grabbing some megas. No Pangolier for 45 seconds, but Kaka is available now. Tidal wave not going to connect onto anybody. You do see Yang getting a beautiful vacuum wall with the ice wall bars coming over it. They've blown up the Enigma, but Paparazzi now sieging onto this Templar Assassin, but he can't get up the right clicks in time. Erica's actually stronger than the Morphling. They bring down TA. That's life 1 though. So they still have an Aegis to play with, but they do not have a buyback for the Morphling to play with. DY just has to watch as the racks crumble before his eyes. Full mega creeps achieved by Tearlaments.
Damn, they're still kinda holding, I guess. Throne should be next for Tearlaments, right? Pengu is up in 5 seconds. You don't have Enigma, but you definitely try to end this. 7E.
Tries to initiate right now to Kaka. Nullifier cancels out the Yules yet again. Beautiful vacuum. No wall to follow it up with though. And crucially, no damage. TA will be able to rinse through all of these heroes like it's nothing. Sure, Echoes might die, but I don't think they really care. DY at least gonna try and waste a little bit of time, but he knows that that time is up. GG is called. Vici Gaming go down in game number 1 in Tearlaments, making this a very, very exciting game.
Yep. Like we said, I feel like we have a very similar story where one team is oriented on killing you and the other is oriented on sustaining themselves through that damage and getting to a point where they just snowball out of control with Medusa, Darkseer, Kunkka combinations. So I like both of these drafts. Once again, I have to say I feel like ease of execution is actually on Vici Gaming. I believed it was the case in the last game, but the lanes went too poorly for them to execute anything.
Well, now though we'll see if they can do something here, as just having some vision wars happening in and around this mid lane. I don't think either of them saw the other his position on the ward, and they're gonna smoke immediately. Vici gonna try to do something while the Elder Spirit's the Spirit is gone. They sort of know which direction to go in. Let's see if they can get there.
They are strong, but this is danger.
Oh, they're gonna try for it. They went high ground, but they found themselves dealing with the Bramble. Yang all of a sudden is very isolated from the rest of Vici Gaming. Yang, though, is quite tanky. Will they be able to get him out? Static slide is there from Ori, but it's not enough. Yang will die. First blood drawn by ZZQ, and he might go for a double. He wants DY or Ori. Unfortunately, both of them are too close to the tower.
Man.
But nonetheless, they're the ones that find the first blood.
This is just as good. Like, not getting kills and leaving them on 10% HP, I feel like is maybe even better of a start. You get the first blood and you weaken the two heroes, so they are basically unable to lane properly. How do they run uphill into the Elder Titan like that? That's just... Whew. I mean, they are strong, they're not weak. The level 1 damage on Vici Gaming is pretty substantial, but Elder Titan trumps most of it. And nice positioning by Kunkka, by the way. Just to break that smoke and wait for them.
Echoes on Kunkka, been looking pretty solid. We'll see how this lane is going to pan out here against Ori. Ori, of course, on his signature hero. If there is ever going to be a time where we need you, brother, this is the game.
It's signature hero, but it's also not really signature 10% HP going into the lane. So he needed to use a salve immediately to just be able to lane.
The struggles are real right now for Ori, but elsewhere on the map, where do you think the action is going to be the heaviest? Which is the exciting lane here?
I feel like both side lanes are actually exciting when it comes to kill potential. Top lane, of course, it's Darkseer lane, so you expect it from level 3, and on bottom lane, I don't know, man, like ZZQ and Medusa, it's a strong, it's a good lane. A bit more defensive, of course, but you want to put as much pressure before some levels are up on Yang and Dark Willow.
Yang, of course, under quite a lot of pressure right now. Completely out of regen, having expended all of it already. What's he got coming in right now? Oof, he's bringing more. A full salve coming in. That's tough, buddy. That's tough. Ori also finding that his HP pool is dwindling by the minute. He's losing the CS battle against the Kunkka, but that's something that you relatively expect. But he should be fine. He's going to equalize it now with the creeps under the tower. Gets the range creep. Most of the wave is gone. He's chilling. He's fine.
Yeah, it definitely could have been a better lane if it started off nicely, but it didn't. Top lane 70 surged up. He by the way, what's kind of cool is he started with boots. So Shadow Shaman had boots from the get-go. Going into the laning stage, and look at them burn on bot lane.
Jeez. Bro, Yang just got a salve. He just got it. He just used it, already down to like 30% HP. He has to salve up again right now. So much money being expended on consumables. SRF right now, with the assistance of 7E, who dutifully dragged the wave towards him. They're gonna farm some camps, take out the whole wave, get SRF into a good position on the Darkseer. They actually might try to get a kill middle. Check this out. S7E. He just came through with the shackles. They do have it, maybe? Almost Ori able to get back in time thanks to DY throwing in the magic missile. That was so smart. They surged them before the TP so he could close the gap onto the Storm Spirit. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, the last millisecond of the TP, he gets surged, so he runs in it. Nice attempt, but nice little counterplay, of course, by DY as well.
Yang. At least he's still finding some levels down bottom for Yang. He hasn't been killed and forced out of the wave, so there is still hope of us getting to that level 6, and then he can start to recover by helping with plays across the map with the Solar Guardian.
Top rune.
Echoes. Okay, they're gonna fight over this water rune. Echoes actually is falling really low here, but the shackles from 7E in tandem with the stomp from ZZQ, they're actually gonna be able to almost kill Ori. Blood grenade drop down, and yes, they bring down the Shadow Shaman, but losing the storm is not worth it. And now Kaka, he is not safe either, brought down by the Tidebringer of Echoes. DY able to at the very least avoid the torrents on the ground. So that'll allow him to keep his life. But Ori dying and Kunkka soaking up all that experience and gold after those kills.
And another water rune, by the way, to heal himself up a little bit more. A little bit further. Top lane Kikyo, I don't think this is... Like, you can shackle him, maybe force a reaction, but that's it. There's no damage. What's happening with Vici Gaming at their laning stage? Like, this is not looking that great. 2 games in a row.
On the bright side, Paparazzi is farming very well on his gyrocopter. Got his Falcon Blade coming through right now. And he's going to be able to continue to accelerate. So he needs to carry this game because there's going to be a lot of time needed for Yang and Ori to catch back up.
Yeah, Darkseer has a lot of stacks already that he's... he actually farmed some and he's farming some more. Meanwhile, on the other side, Kaka didn't manage to stack a single time. And he spent quite a bit of time in the triangle. One sentry blocked the hard cap and the Ancients he actually just missed a couple of times, so he didn't stack it.
Certainly unfortunate. Where is Kaka right now? He's just soaking up some experience here in the mid lane.
He's level 2.
Yeah, there is some
He
kill
needs it.
threat, but he's only level 2. He just hit 3 now? Oh my goodness. Things certainly not looking very easy right now for the side of Vici Gaming. DY will get a D ward, and he runs the right direction. Almost cost him his life, but thankfully he decided to head back towards the west. That keeps him living, but now they need to do something about middle. There's a catapult wave here, so they want to apply pressure on the tier 1 tower. Kaka will eat some damage from the torrent combo, but he has Shadow Realm, he should be fine.
Yeah, I feel for Vici Gaming right now, the most important thing is to get level 6 on Dawnbreaker and on Ori. Once these two have level 6, plays are possible across the map. Like, you can maybe even make a move on Darkseer, maybe even on bot lane. But bot lane, actually, it's Yang that's gonna get gone on.
On the bright side, he did hit level 6 before he died, so, you know, that's something, but
I love
his
how
life is forfeit here.
Yeah, I love how you ruled him out immediately, but fair enough, it's a Kunkka rotation. He's level 7 almost, with an arcane rune.
They're gonna try play around this Shrine of Wisdom here, but I don't know about this, Vici. I don't know about this game. DY will be the one that sticks behind. Okay, doesn't seem like the Darkseer has any interest in coming to contest this. So, Shrine of Wisdom taken, and tier 1 tower gonna be pressured with even Ori making his way towards top. They
Yeah,
really want to open up this map.
This is actually a pretty big win, because Yang is going to get the other shrine. So they got all the XP. Suddenly the Vengeful Spirit and the Dark Willow that were kind of under-leveled are
Radiant's top tower
level 5 on DY and almost level 5 on the Dark Willow.
bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, nicely done. Vici get the tier 1, and they're still positioned to be able to hold down bottom. Some pressure will come in from Erica, but this wave will always just be insta-gibbed by Yang, so the tier 1 tower shouldn't be in any real danger.
Radiant's
Ori now is level 7. Wait, who's the X? Okay, Echoes are just Xing himself. He gets the haste rune, denies Ori the bottle refill. Feels bad.
Yeah, he's been doing a really good job at that. So far, the rune control has been immaculate by Tearlaments. Either by Echoes or the supports, or in some cases, all of them. Moving in tandem to deny Storm all that free region. If he gets a good rune, that's like 90% of the time a kill as well on the map, so... A bit of a different build on Echoes, by the way.
Oh, he's going for the blade mail, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense. He's playing into Gyrocopter, playing into the Dark Willow. There's a lot of uncontrollable damage, so I can see definitely why you'd want to do this.
Yep. Only one hero without it, I guess. That a little bit of uncontrollable damage, I guess, on Vengeful, but the rest of them, Blade Mail works very nicely against all of these heroes.
Well, we're gonna have a smoke now. The first one from Vici Gaming. They're making a line towards bottom. They would love to get the Medusa. They even bring Paparazzi here for this rotation. Homing missile thrown straight towards the Medusa. They have no interest in the Shadow Shaman. They want the Medusa, and they are gonna get her. Shadow Shaman might end up being the bonus kill as well. as 7E was unable to retreat in time. He ends up dead, and the chase is still ongoing. DY trying to catch up to ZZQ. Magic Missile is at the ready. The Brambles are there. ZZQ's going nowhere. And do they have the damage though? Ori's out of mana, so they might not be able to kill him with just these two supports. Okay, there's the swap.
Yep.
They close the gap. Yang finishes him off with the hammer.
I feel like they needed a quicker reaction from their two entry Darkseer and Kunkka, but instead they were just going mid. Also keep in mind that Medusa didn't have ult skilled, so no Stone Gaze to at least delay that go. I feel like if he has Stone Gaze, maybe they can fight mid.
I'm gonna try to fight mid though. Echo getting the both combination out onto this Dark Willow, but she went Shadow around Bedlam, so he's lost a lot of HP. The Solar Guardian does come through, but unfortunately there was a surge on the Kunkka to get him out of trouble. So he's gonna be fine. Lots of big spells ended up being used. Off-lane ults traded for each other.
Yeah. Actually, the Darkseer went 0 for 2, so no vacuum. This isn't something that you see very often right now. But they are really putting an emphasis on having a lot of movement speed on Tearlaments. Like they started off with boots on top lane, 2 levels of surge before getting vacuum.
Swap middle. They're trying to go onto ZZQ. Ori's gonna zip in as well to make sure that they get that kill. All right. Now we're starting, baby. Now we're starting. 8 galvanized stacks for the Storm Spirit. Okay. And with Paparazzi top as well, doing a good job of zoning away the pressure. They're keeping all of their buildings alive. This map is actually more open for them than from Tearlaments, which is a very big contrast to what we saw in game 1. Kaka will get himself shackled, but I think he should be fine.
Yeah, Echoes didn't want to connect. Like he was just farming his Ancients. Probably for the best. Gyro and Vengeful are nearby. And when you look at Tearlaments, I feel like they're passive on purpose. But also, I feel like they could have been a bit more aggressive in these last couple of minutes. They could have maybe fought around the Medusa bot. Dark Willow, there's a swap.
They're gonna go for him this time. Swap, the boat will crash onto DY, so Venge will be the sacrificial lamp. It's part of why you picked the hero.
Yeah, he's got a bit less effort. It's okay.
I was gonna say, do you think they're gonna be able to pressure tier 1 mid off of this, or do you just keep farming?
I feel like Tearlaments, the way that they've played the last couple of minutes are giving away their mindset, and that's let's just farm. Let's not make any crazy moves. Maybe they can smoke up once Shadow Shaman is 6. But so far, they're looking extremely defensive. They are playing with Medusa plus Darkseer, so it's understandable that they are playing this way. They also need a pipe on Darkseer first.
He's still quite some distance away from having that, but Paparazzi getting closer towards having that full Eigenem Scepter. Doesn't have any sustain, there's no lifesteal available for him at the moment, but the damage output is about to become quite crazy. Echoes will get scouted middle. Vici Gaming definitely would like to get something done here, but actually just back off with Echoes on Tearlaments and they smoke up. They're gonna go to the other side of the map. Unfortunately, there's nobody home.
Yep. Whenever you're playing into a Dawnbreaker, the best smoke that you can make is on the Dawnbreaker, right? Like, man, get yourself in a position that allows you to kill her. If you fight anywhere else, she's going to connect with the ult. So make sure that she cannot.
Kaka comes bottom, but he's not going to show too close either. Well, he might, actually. Nah, he's fine.
They have...
He is okay, so...
Top lane, though. They're moving in.
SRF, he gets scouted. DY is here. Does Paparazzi want to close the gap? They don't know how many heroes are in behind, though, so this could be very risky for the Gyrocopter to full commit. He decides against it. Instead, they commit the wall onto DY. So they are going to be able to bring down the Vengeful Spirit, but it is 2 core heroes on that side of the map with a wall committed. I think he's fine with that.
Yeah, maybe this is a Serpent Ward play on the top tier 1 tower to take it down. I guess it is. Venge is dead. You have all your heroes here. Besides the Medusa. Yeah. It should be a go on the tier 1 tower.
The Giga Ward is out, putting in the damage. No response from Vici. Well, actually, I say that, but here comes Paparazzi and the gang. They're actually going to go onto Echoes. He throws out the early boats. Late Mail already committed, but now as he gets stunned up by the Cursed Crown, it's going to be extremely difficult for him to get out of here, if not impossible, and his life will be forfeit. Unfortunately, no revenge kill onto either Kaka or Ori in that situation.
I really feel that they're underestimating their strength right now on Radiant. Like, the way they're taking these fights is like, let's just get a little bit of a pick off, you know, like let's kill a position 5, let's take down the tower with the Mass Serpent Ward and run away. Let's sell our Kunkka out, even though, like, by the time they killed the Kunkka, they lost 50% HP on both of their cores. You know, and there was no damage besides Blade Mail. So, I don't know, I feel like they could be fighting a bit more, but at the same time, these heroes, if you miss your spells, if they aren't done perfectly, you just lose every fight. Meanwhile, on Vici Gaming, it's... you could literally just auto-attack on the ground, you know, right-click, press your spells, and that's it. You're probably gonna kill someone.
Are scanning.
Speaking of kills, Vici Gaming are smoked up right now. They would love to find this Deucer. And they, man, they're so close. Oh, Storm's gonna see her. There she is. We got her, boys. This time around, there is access to the stone gauge. She deploys it, but it will not matter. Yang shows up with the Solar Guardian. They've burst through the mana pool and they've burst through the snake. No Erica for the next 40 seconds.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things that aren't that great for Medusa as they used to be, at least. Like, she got nerfed quite a bit. You could see just how much mana she's losing after she pops her spells. Like 50 mana cost on Stone Gaze, Gorgon's Grasp as well, the mana cost got increased, so... you could see it in some of these fights.
Oh.
Top lane?
Unfortunately for Tearlaments, the hero that has been farming is this Gyro, who does now have his Axe. That was really close. Echoes almost had him. And Echoes has with the Blade Mail, if they got the X combo there, he's dead for sure. He can't stop the damage coming out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he could have gotten him on his own. Probably it would be really, really close, right? But I feel like he needed an extra hero.
Well, I'm sure he wishes he had an extra hero now because he's getting gone on. Curse Crown thrown in, but he deftly gets himself through the brambles. Will not get connected. And there's that Darkseer pipe that you were talking about earlier. So perhaps now, with the pipe in tow, they will feel more obliged to take engagements of their own accord.
I'm not sure now. Like, the state of the game is not amazing for Tearlaments anymore, like 5k behind. Even though the laning stage started off very nicely for them, they kind of dropped the ball, or they given the ball to Vici Gaming and said, here, play the game any way you want to, we're gonna wait and farm. And now maybe you're just stuck into this farming game.
Oh, Vici are gonna make up their minds for them. They're gonna come bottom, looking to try and pressure onto the tier 2 tower. Maybe if they could find a kill as well. We'll see if there's going to be any kind of response from Tearlaments. And it does seem like they have heroes in the vicinity, but I don't think they want to do anything aggressive just yet.
They are showing Kunkka top. So Vici Gaming can play with that info. There's no tier 1 tower, and Kunkka probably... I mean, he's the hardest hero to kill, he's the tankiest, but if there's no one around, maybe he's the best target to go for.
They see him now. He wandered underneath an observer ward. They know where he's at and they know that he's alone. Curse Crown thrown in onto the Kunkka. Echoes is about to get stunned up. There's the Bramble, Terrorize, Bedlam, everything expended on the Kunkka. And he will end up going down. Ori collects yet another Galvanized Sack for the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, they're just not making any plays on Radiant. They've just completely given up on making moves, for now at least. Kunkka, the way he's farming and the fact that he's waiting for another wave even to farm it after he's given away his location is 100% an invitation to die, right? Like, he's basically saying, I'm here guys, come and get me. We can't make any plays, so I have to do this.
To make matters worse, he was trying to get himself towards the Radiance, but he had to change his mind, opt for the BKB instead. So that does mean that pretty much all of the damage is going to be coming from the Medusa in this game.
That also means that he will not be having the same amount of farm that he had in the last couple of games. When we watched Kunkka go for an early Radiance and then just scale very nicely.
Kunkka and the boys are going to smoke up. 4 heroes going under cover of darkness. Unfortunately for them, it's kind of a tough smoke. They don't have any real great vision at the moment. And Gyrocopter just picked up a BKB, so going on him would suck. They need somebody else to be the target.
I guess
it could be the Dark Willow.
It could be the Tormentor play, right? Like that's why they're moving on top. The Dark Willow.
Oh, nice Hex from 7E onto Kaka. Kaka should die here. Vici have no interest in coming to do anything to save him. Yeah, man, they even committed both for this one. Okay.
Yeah, they had Echo Stomp. I feel like maybe they didn't have to both. This is a fight.
Do you think we can fight this for Vici? Because they have 2 BKBs on Stormer's BK and Gyro as well.
It's definitely not the most optimal situation to fight in. You don't have your Dark Willow. But it looks like they'll get the Tormentor for free anyway.
Okay.
Actually, bot lane.
Yang is getting gone on. The Giga Ward is committed. Kunkka is there as well, but he is quite tanky. This is going to be a tough kill to find. Okay, now with the Medusa though, they should be able to pick him up. One more right click is all they need. X marks will ensure that there's no escape happening for the Stormbreaker. And oh my goodness, the Tormentor killed DY. 60 HP.
Yeah, they all lost so much HP.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Kunkka now has a BKB of his own, so more protection available for Echo in this game, at the same time as the Medusa gets her Mjolnir. So the damage output is starting to get there for the Medusa. Unfortunately, with only the Manta style, she doesn't have her Ags just yet. She still can be a very viable target to jump on from the side of Vici Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why she's got the Kunkka, then she's got the Darkseer as well with the Pipe Mech. A lot of defensive, well, mech not as much as Arcane Boots, I guess, for the Medusa, but a lot of utility on them.
Okay. Just gonna farm some of these camps here because he wants his Blink Dagger, which will now be available for the Dark Willow. You could see them start to try to make some kind of play. We still haven't seen them unleash this BKB of Ori on the map just yet.
We had like such a fantastic action-packed game bot lane Yang. I think this is not possible, yeah. You know, when he harpooned him, I waited to see what's gonna happen. Because this harpoon can bring you from the dead, I swear, to hit you one extra time sometimes. You die and he brings you from the fountain. He's like, no, I'm not done with your corpse. It ignores so many different
Top tower is under attack.
different things in this game.
Oh, Darkseer runs right in front of this Dark Willow, but neither SRF nor Kaka really want that kind of smoke, so they back off from each other. Ori just wants to keep farming, get to this Kaya Sanj, make himself extremely difficult to kill, and crucially, just making himself as hard to get locked down by the Shadow Shaman as possible. I don't think you really want to commit for the Lincoln Sphere, but if you do this, then you can just soak up those spells and still keep fighting.
Yeah, they have some. They have a swap, right? So they should be able to save the Storm if he's the one going on. Nice little snatch of the tier 2 tower on top lane, by the way, by Kunkka and Shadow Shaman. Mass Serpent Ward, of course, was used, and this is most likely free Rosh. They do have Echo Stomp to work with, but that's just not enough. He's alone.
How do you feel about this, that the Gyrocopter got the Aegis instead of Storm?
I think it just shows the state of the game. where they feel they're at. I feel like they feel that they should start pushing soon and taking some massive objectives. So they give it to Gyro, who's gonna stand there and hit the buildings.
On top lane. Speaking of standing there, Yang is being held in place by 7E. Unfortunately for 7E though, Ori is in the vicinity as well. They easily make short work
Medusa?
of that Shadow Shaman. They also went forward with the Solar Guardian onto the Medusa. She stone gazes. Will she get out? Terrorize? Right location, wrong time. She's out safely.
Kaka actually
Down bottom.
canceled
Hold on,
it.
we'll talk about it in a second because Paparazzi forced into popping the BKB. Echoes and the gang really wanted to bring him down, and they almost succeeded in doing so. He does escape. Both carries on both sides of the map will not be brought down.
Yeah, just a lot of spells committed in these last couple of minutes, and not a lot of them actually connected. Kaka had him the first time he used Terrorize. He actually had the right idea and the right spot, but he cancels it and gives Medusa just enough time to TP out.
Unfortunate there for Kaka, but still, they know that they can't force her into those kind of positions. And they just keep farming. Paparazzi wants to finish his Satanic. It's getting really, really big on the Gyrocopter, but it's now an arms race between himself and the Medusa, and both of them can actually still solo carry this kind of game. It's all going to come down to the rest of the initiation with the teams. Scotty next for her. What's 7E going for? Wants that Aether Lens. They actually might try to jump onto this Dark Willow, and indeed they do. They commit the Giga Ward, but Paparazzi's here as well. They might find some quick revenge. They're going quickly onto the 7E Shadow Shaman, and they get him. Homing missile. It catches Kunka before he can get off his BKB. The BKB does now finally emerge, but he's too low on HP. Paparazzi cleans him up, getting the double kill for the Gyro. What an unfortunate time to be alive for Kunka there.
Yeah, what an unfortunate time to be alive. So he goes to the fountain again. Medusa, by the way, getting closer to level 20. It is a nice power spike for her. She's got the Aghanims, she's got the Mjolnir, Skadi, of course, the main item now that we're all waiting for. But this game truly feels like we're just waiting for Tearlaments to decide that they're actually online and able to fight. So far, they've been dodging everything. And every time someone gets gone on, they just bail.
Let's see. Gyrocopter is walking underneath some vision right now. They might decide to jump him. Echo Stomp, not going to be there. They do find the vacuum wall onto DY and Paparazzi. DY is going to die first. Paparazzi goes in with the BKB active, trying to fight into the Dusa. Does get Stone Gaze though. And the rest of the team is trying to escape from Tearlaments. Nice Bramble Maze connects onto Kunka. Echo doing his best here. Ori goes in, gets him with the Remnant, gets him with the drag in, and Paparazzi gets him with the damage. Double up for Gyrocopter right now. Unfortunately though, took away most of the mana and HP from the team. So everybody else has to retreat after winning that engagement.
Yeah, it was a really nice splitter there. At the back end of the fight, it was nice Echo and Vacuum, Echo Stomp and Vacuum Wall, but they just don't have the damage right now. Specifically the way they started that fight, they didn't have heroes as well. And Storm Ori is on point with his targeting. Like, he ignores everyone and just goes in the Shadow Shaman. Top lane Medusa.
Oh no. Okay, she is too far from everybody. Isn't this very similar to the death that Erica had in game 1 when he died by the tier 2 tower top? Like,
Well, yeah, but Erica was winning. That's the difference. Like, he was in a really good position. Medusa in this game right now, I mean, he's not winning this time around. Let's put it that way. He cannot afford, Erica cannot afford himself to make these plays.
Oh, that is going to be Vici Gaming. The rest of the duration of this Aegis, we'll see how they expend it. It's only 20 seconds though. Satanic now completed on the Gyrocopter. He's almost got Daedalus as well. Good God.
Yeah, the Satanic basically kept him alive in that last fight around the cliff. Now he's going to have an extra item, Daedalus, of course, to fight with.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Let me get this here to tower now. They should be able to sweep back for the Tormi once it respawns. And what do you do on Tearlaments? You do not have... It feels like one of the big problems as well is that every time Medusa is down, there's literally no point making any plays. Nobody has damage except for her.
Is under attack.
Absolutely. They haven't been making any plays with her as well. They're still waiting for maybe one or two smokes that they attempted, but they're still waiting for the Medusa items. And this is like old school Medusa gameplay. Just wait for her to come online and wait and wait and wait. And then she comes online and you lose. Like, sometimes if you're fast enough, you go for that manta butterfly, you take ages and you end the game with Medusa, but this was just not one of those games, unfortunately, and they're basically stuck at the moment.
To be fair to Tearlaments, yesterday when they played up against Yakult's brothers, the game that they were doing really well was in game 1, and Yakult's brothers had to rely on the fly Medusa to do something very similar. He only really came online at like 45 minutes, but once he was online, he was practically immortal. And Vici Gaming, they're already preparing for that. Click on the gyrocopter. Look at my boy doing the Thompson build from TI. Got himself... Oh, no, never mind. He changed it. He had
He
queued a
changed
disperser,
it, yeah.
but he changed it. Ah, come on, bro. Why are you making me look dumb, paparazzi?
Well, he did think of it for a moment, so it's not a dumb idea. It's just that Butterfly might be a bit more of a safer approach. There will be no MKB on Medusa. They already scouted out the ultimate orb on her, right? So they know Skadi is coming up. Makes sense to go for the Butterfly. And she's
I know
got
it makes
Mjolnir, I
sense.
guess. It's already good enough.
It's not as much fun, though. Oh, well. Hopefully, he probably wants to have more fun at TI than just in this game.
Let's see. This smoke might bring them a little bit closer to, well, to that TI. They're behind the Jar on top lane, but everyone is so defensive on the Radiant side.
The only one who's really out on the map is Erica, but is in a very safe part of the map right now. Almost has the gold for that Skadi. So close. This, after he finishes off at least a couple more creeps, should definitely have it.
Yep, you can see that 70 is actually in position to break any upcoming aggression, any possible smokes. That's why the Skadi will be completed in a matter of seconds, right? Like, he just needs to get the courier there.
Yeah. The only problem is the entire courier. The courier will die because the entire triangle is being camped out by Vici Gaming right now. So it's gonna be a high risk, high reward mission for the flying bird to get there. And the courier's going now. All right. Just at the perfect time, actually. Probably read that they would be going for the Tormentor right now. And they scanned the high ground as well just before that. Okay, good stuff.
Okay, what are your thoughts? Like, does this Skadi absolutely change the game? Dark Willow?
No. Well, as Kaka died, there should be a freebie for them. I think this Skadi is... We're almost there, right? Now we are genuinely in one more item syndrome. You just need the one. Like whether it be MKB or Davis, just bigger damage. And now though, they're going on the high ground. There will be a Solar Guardian to bail them out. Yang, Ori. Where is Ori actually? He got stone gazed on the far side of the fight. He can't make an entry point here. Look at Medusa ripping through DY, now going towards the gyrocopter. Paparazzi,
It seems
he has
enough.
a satanic going, but it doesn't really matter. He ends up dead. Yang with the Starbreaker now suddenly finds himself extremely isolated in the midst of all these Tearlaments heroes. And in the way, well, there's the answer to your question, my friend. The Medusa Skadi making the difference. 7k damage dealt in that fight. Shout out to Tearlaments.
Dude, I was really wondering if it's going to be good for them to throughout the game. I was wondering if it will be fine to just let the game go and just wait for the Medusa to come online, but I guess it was. That's all they needed. Another thing that I have to say, a perfect fight. They kill off the Dark Willow and then they go 4 against 5 on the high ground, baiting out on the Kunkka, who wasn't going to die that easily anymore. He's got Aghanim's as well now. So he went in. Look at that Giga Ward, by the way. What the hell is that? It's so massive.
For me, the thing that really broke this fight, look at Ori. He couldn't enter the fight. He literally took the full duration of the Stone Gaze. By the time he arrives, the fight's already over. If he was there at the beginning, you know, maybe able to control the Shadow Shaman before Shadow Shaman gets on the high ground, perhaps, but that was like a perfect time to take that fight. Everything was perfect. Where the enemy heroes were positioned, where the Medusa was in the fight, able to just sit there dishing out damage. You love to see it for Tearlaments.
Absolutely. They just did everything correctly. And you know what as well? Satanic from Gyro, it just had no effect. It really didn't feel impactful in that fight. Skadi definitely doing some work, but in general, they controlled Kikyo completely.
Also, he's queued it back. Kikyo is doing the right thing. Solar Guardian going forward. However, this might not be what they want. Nice back wall from SLF. Yang is stuck in a very rough place, eating damage from the Giga Ward as well. At the same time, Ori is able to control and kill off 7E. So they do get both of these supports. Yang, he is seen. Will he be allowed to leave? No. The boat comes through. He does get swapped back by DY though. And instead, it's going to be the Kunkka that's deciding to make a swift exit from this fight. BKB TP out for him. They've only really lost Kaka on the side of Vici Gaming, so very nice little skirmish coming in from them.
Yeah, much nicer fight where the Stone Gaze wasn't really able to connect on all the right targets. I love the blade mail.
So Echoes going towards having a Shiva's Guard. If it wasn't tough enough already for the Gyrocopter with the Satanic, the Shiva is just going to compound his misery. And now they have the MKB on the Medusa. You know, you were talking about it a little while ago while you were buying Butterfly that there's no MKB anytime soon from the Medusa, but that fight after the Scardia just accelerated her net worth so much that she just has it now.
Yeah, she's got Mjolnir and MKB, so all of these right clicks will proc. What did she go for? Magnifying Monocle, actually. Okay.
Okay.
30 attack speed as well. 100 attack range.
Okay. Cool, cool.
So she gets, what, 200 attack range bonus? From it?
Yeah. She should, yeah.
How does that work with split? How does that work with split shots right now? It should be. She should be connecting, right, to all the right clicks.
It should be.
Yeah.
Well, it seems that way. She does have an Aegis now, though, so killing her once has already proven to be a gargantuan task since she got the Skadi. Twice, a very different proposition. Ori standing on the high ground, scouting things out. The Torrent wasn't on the mark, but he did see them coming towards him. Gets away in time.
Yeah, they're just taking over the triangle, making sure that they set up vision. Now you can cut bot wave and mid wave, take down the last remaining tier 2 towers.
I really can't believe just how dramatically this game changed after the Skadi got online.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, the execution was what mattered too, right? Killing off the Dark Willow and then getting that good numerical advantage in the next team fight. Medusa also going for Disperser, by the way, as her next item of choice. Of course, there are no illusion-making heroes on the other side, so you can go for this. You're not afraid of killing yourself.
Man, if Storm ever was out of BKB and he's in like a bramble or if he's like shackled or anything, gonna lose so much HP and mana. Doesn't have anything to quickly pocket back up anymore.
Do you
have a Giga Ward.
Do you care if you get swapped? That's my question now, because like Medusa is uphill. Can you swap her behind? I feel like that's actually game losing for Dire.
Yeah. I don't think you swap her. If you could swap her like away, like if DY flipped behind her and that's a swap, okay, I'm fine with that.
Swap her back to her base.
Exactly. Well, Gyrocopter just picked up his diffusal blade. He's realizing the gravity of the situation that they're in. As here we go. First lane of Rax taken away. Dusa barely even got tickled throughout the course of all that.
And they just will be reclaimed, by the way. Gyro, does he have diffusal? He does have it, right? Like you just mentioned it. Yeah.
Storm woke up right now by Vici as soon as the Aegis expires. They don't have any positive vision though for themselves. At the same time, Doxia was forced to go back. He did get X though. Curse Crowd stunned up ZZQ. Kaka hoping to try and kill him, but he's losing health so quickly. They do find ZZQ with the help of both Ori and the Yang Solar Guardian, but it's costed 2 BKBs. Now though they buy back on Kaka, trying to get back into the fight. There's a big vacuum wall in the middle of everything. This Medusa though, she's just laying in the damage. Paparazzi has done what he can, able to take down the Doxia and ZZQ again, but he's going to lose his life for it because he cannot escape the Skadi Medusa. Medusa, though, is running low on the mana department. Yang with the big Starbreaker, stunning both her and the Kunkka. They're trying to get the kill. 7E doing his best to control them from the far side of the fight. Eventually, though, Yang will be able to get this kill. 7E with the long-range shackles actually finds the Storm Spirit. A triple kill for Yang. It's a team wipe for Vici, but they had to buy back on the gyrocopter to achieve it.
I was looking at 70, like if he controls at the later part of this, like at the bitter end of the fight, if he controls Yang, Medusa might be able to survive, but at the same time, then Storm lives. So I guess this is worth it, even though you get wiped. Like you said, you force out a buyback on Gyro, and if they do not force out any buybacks of your own right now, you're in a really commanding position anyway, and this fight is all right for you. Keep in mind that the way Vici Gaming started the fight was pretty good. They went on to the supports, like the Dawnbreaker and Storm. But the problem is the outpost is Radiance, like they took it already. So even though ZZQ dies, he just instantly buybacks after, you know, and he can rejoin the fight. He can rejoin it faster than the Dark Willow. That also buybacks, right? So a really nicely played fight from Tearlaments. Could have been done a little bit cleaner perhaps, but they will lose a side after it. In the mid lane, that is.
There's a vacuum. Swap out though. DY will make sure that Paparazzi stays safe as we go back into the live action. Terrorize from Kaka. Just to try and help cover the retreat, but actually Yang turns around. Harpoons back in the docks here. Boat crashes onto DY. They kill him. 7E long range shackles onto Yang. Do we have enough for him through the BKB? Doesn't seem like it. He will do the Nightfall.
X.
X.
They got him.
He tried his best. They actually got him. He did everything there. He even did the Starbreaker with the magic immunity, hoping it'll protect him, but it does not. And that's another kill for Tearlaments.
What can you do versus this Shadow Shaman, man? Like when you're pushing high ground, he's got Magnifying Monocle, and he's got Aetherlands, and he's got Mystical Enchantment. Like his shackles are across the screen. Like you can't even see him. He's shackling you like that. Ridiculous.
Well, 7E definitely showing us that he's not just a Doxia merchant, that he's really, really solid here on the position 4. You would never imagine that this is his first tournament playing position 4. That's kind of crazy. Vici Gaming, they did secure the mid lane of Rack, so they did equalize things in terms of objectives on the map. However, now is the crucial point because they've already seen what happens on this Medusa as Aegis.
She's got no buyback, like, but can they? It's not looking like they will even try to contest this. Yeah, if they managed to contest, if Dawnbreaker was alive, this would have been a very dangerous affair for Medusa. But of course, now she's got Aegis. She's also got Cheese to work with after the Aegis is reclaimed. So a very difficult fight is upcoming for Vici Gaming.
They smoke up right now, Tearlaments. Let's see if they can find anybody. 7E would like to have an observer ward in the high ground, but unfortunately for them, DY has been on it, sentries all across the map. But here they go with the Giga Ward. They swap back the Dusa. Oh no! But they push back the Gyro! The Gyro is not next to the Dusa! Look where Paparazzi is. He's trying to just keep himself alive right now with the Satanic. Piercing the backlines, looking for Yang. Yang comes in, Solar Guardian was there. Starbreaker though, protects him from the upcoming spells from the Kunkka. Ori goes back, finds 7E, kills him off. And now, the real test is the Dusa. She is standing her ground, right-clicking through Yang. She does get dragged back in. Paparazzi, can he do it? He cannot. took away most of her mana but cannot do anything about her life. And 7E with the buyback controls Ori, ensures that the Storm Spirit does die. Yang able to help bring down the Kunkka, and now Ori brought back, going straight in onto the Medusa, but 7E catches him immediately with the shackles. Unfortunately, he can do nothing about Yang with the Starbreaker, and they are able to kill him off. A dieback on the Shadow Shaman, but Paparazzi is still dead without buyback of his own. Yang doing what
He's
he
gone.
can. If he dies here, he doesn't have buyback either. 2 minutes in the grave for him. No gyro, no
That's
dawn.
game.
That's it. That's game over. The 2-0 curse will not be broken. The Medusa is finally online, and that will end the game. GG, well played. Tearlaments eliminate Vici Gaming 2-0.
It didn't look that way. At the beginning of this game, it looked like they will be able to even it out. Vici Gaming, they were making all the right plays, but